First, I had to change into my spy clothes. It starts with these glasses without lenses that I swipe from my father's desk, which make me look smarter. On my spy belt, I carry a flashlight, a waterproof pouch for my notebook, another waterproof pouch for extra pens, a canteen for thirstiness, and a collapsible fork, which I've never used, but you never know. This is just a junky transistor radio that I use to create a soundtrack for my day. I love this song.
Someone learn to shout it, someone. But sooner or later, baby, here's a ditty. Say you're gonna have to get right down to the real nitty gritty. Let's get right down to the real nitty gritty. Now, 1, 2, nitty gritty. Now, yeah, boom.
Hey, Harriet.
Nitty gritty. Ooh, wee.
Hey, how you doing?
Right
Hey,
down to
Squeegee.
the real nitty gritty. Double beat, double beat, right down to the nitty gritty. Yeah, double beat. 1, 2.
And I'm back. Looking at the map once again. Let's follow the red line, see where Harriet's going. Okay, so we figured out that Harriet's school on the cartoon is on 80th Street, just 1 block north of the Yorkville Library, between 2nd and 3rd Avenues. Alright, she's going 2.5 blocks west. And apparently the bank is at Park Avenue. Yeah, the bank's at Park Avenue and 80th. I wonder if there's any cool-looking bank buildings at this block here. Well, actually, at this intersection, I do see a building that looks a little bit more like Mrs. Plummer's apartment building. Actually, Manhattan Family Practice is there now. I wonder if that ever was an apartment building. Might have been. Let's see, what did her bank look like? I'm not sure, but the bank might be inspired by 925 Park Avenue. But anywho, that's not where Harriet's headed right now. Apparently, instead of turning right on Park Avenue, she turns right on Lexington. She goes up 1, 2, 3 blocks, 83rd Street, turns left, crosses right over Park Avenue, right on Madison. At Madison 84th is where the hair salon supposedly is. So this red line on the map shows where Harriet is planning to go, but she hasn't quite gotten there yet. Then her plan is to go east on 84th, then turn left on Lexington. No, I'm sorry. Park Avenue. Left on Park Avenue, and then right on 86th, right on 86th, then left on Lexington, right on 87th, left on 3rd, and then right again on 88th Street. 3rd Avenue and 88th Street is where Mrs. Plummer's apartment building is. Alright, now we see Harriet walking down the street. She says she's just changed into her spy clothes. I wonder where she went to change her clothes. Like, did she find a bathroom someplace, or hide behind a bush or a wall? I don't know. Makes me wonder where she hid her school clothes. She says that the glasses without lenses that she's swiped from her father's desk makes her look smarter. And oh, wait a minute. This could be a reference to an upcoming episode. I see a sign for a dentist office. We'll get to see that up close in person in the first episode of Season 2 of Harriet the Spy. So it'll be good to keep that in mind. And yes, Harriet, those glasses do make you look smarter. Let's see what the book says about her glasses. Alright, let me read you the very end of Chapter 2, which tells us everything we need to know about Harriet's spy clothes and her gear. See if it lines up with the show. It says, Harriet put her books down on the desk and hurriedly began to change into her spy clothes. Now in the book, she's changing into her spy stuff at home, but I don't know if Harriet would have time to run home from school and then back the other way to the places she's going to spy on. It says her spy clothes consisted first of all, an ancient pair of blue jeans, so old that her mother had forbidden her to wear them, but which Harriet loved because she had fixed up the belts with hooks to carry her spy tools. Her tools were a flashlight in case she were ever out at night, which she never was, a leather pouch for her notebook, another leather case for extra pens, a water canteen, and a Boy Scout knife which had, among other features, a screwdriver and a knife, and fork, which collapsed. She had never had the occasion to eat anywhere, but someday it might come in handy. Harriet doesn't mention the knife on the show, but she does mention the collapsible fork. She attached everything to the belt, and it all had worked fine except that she rattled a little. Next, she put on an old dark blue sweatshirt with a hood, which she wore at the beach house in the summer, so that it still smelled of salt air in a comforting way. It's blue in the book, which is really weird because it's actually red on the cover of the book. Depends which style book you have, because they changed the book a couple times over the years. I have the classic edition here, with the original cover art drawn by the author. Then she put on an old pair of blue sneakers with holes over each of her little toes. Wait, what do her shoes look like on the show? No, her shoes don't look blue on the show. They look kind of like a dark burgundy red, like almost brown. And they don't seem to have holes in the toes, which is probably a good thing. The book says her mother had actually gone so far as to throw these out, but Harriet had rescued them from the garbage when the cook wasn't looking. She finished by donning a pair of black-rimmed spectacles with no glass in them. She had found these once in her father's desk, and now sometimes wore them even to school because she only thought they made her look smarter. Bingo! A direct quote from the book on the show. She stood back and looked at herself in the full-length mirror which hung on her bathroom door. She was very pleased. Then she ran quickly down the steps and out, banging the front door behind her. Alright, so this scene right here is incredibly accurate. The only thing they left out, really, was the Boy Scout knife with the screwdriver. And just for fun, they added the parts about the junky transistor radio that Harriet uses to create a soundtrack for her day. I don't know if the word soundtrack was really a thing in the 60s. Sounds pretty modern to me. Well, at least she said soundtrack and not playlist. Well, yeah, I guess soundtrack would have been a word used back then because there were movie soundtracks. I guess she's imagining that if her life was like a movie, this would be the music to go with it. And she loves this song, which is... let's see if you can find the title here. Sounds like if you get right down to the real nitty-gritty. The Nitty-Gritty by Shirley Ellis. And it looks like this song came out in 1963, which is perfect because the book came out in 64. So that song would have been around back then. Huh. That actually sounds like the original recording. I'm listening to it now on YouTube. I think the show brought the pitch up just a smidget, because it sounds a little bit lower on this Shirley Ellis topic thing on YouTube. But yeah, this is definitely it. It'd be interesting to see if they list this song in the credits, which we probably won't find out until next week. This is probably my favorite scene in the entire episode. Harriet's dances are so cool. Apparently she's been on this spy route a couple times, because some of the people on this block know Harriet. They've said hello to her before. There's a lady on a bicycle with a basket of flowers waving to her. There's a guy working down the manhole. Says, "Hey, Harriet." And Harriet says, "Hey, Al." This is really interesting. Apparently these people are not freaked out by Harriet hanging out in their neighborhood, so that either means that she's actually done some pleasant things there, or those people don't have a clue what she's doing for real. I mean, obviously they don't know what she's doing now, but they probably never knew that she was a spy. I mean, if they knew what she was up to, they probably wouldn't be half as friendly as they are now. And Harriet looks up, and there's bubbles floating around. There's a guy washing windows way up high. He's in one of those basket things that you raise and lower along the outside of the building. He says, "Hey, how you doing?" And Harriet says, "Hey, Squeegee." Oh, that part's so cute. Hey, Squeegee. She just calls the guy Squeegee because he uses a squeegee to wash the windows. Oh, my goodness. Why does Harriet have to be so stinking cute on this show? The character designs are so adorable. I want to know who draws these characters, who designed them, because they look so great. They look so reminiscent of my illustration style, only better. They blend so well with the hand-painted backgrounds. And it looks like there's a guy here delivering what I assume is newspapers, or maybe magazines. And Harriet's dancing along, and she kind of kicks the wagon closer to him, and he just drops the papers right in. I love Harriet's dance moves in this scene. Until she jumps right into a flock of pigeons, and they kind of fly up and kind of attack her a little bit.